Hello and welcome to Answer the Question. This is part 3 on our series of the hidden voting blocks of Congress, the congressional membership organizations. Today, we'll be going over the 3 Republican CMOs, plus a few side groups that are still relevant because the Republican Party has been in a lot of flux the last few years. With that, let's get into it. The Republican Study Committee, or RSC, is the oldest of the Republican congressional membership organizations, though the modern RSC can trace its roots more closely back to the Conservative Action Team led by Newt Gingrich, which championed the Contract with America platform that led to the 1994 Republican Revolution in the House of Representatives. Members of the RSC are socially and fiscally conservative, and if you want to know why it seems like the Republican Party went so far right, it's due in large part to the RSC ascending to dominate the party in the 2000s. Starting with 40 members in 2000, the RSC grew to 170 members of the Republican caucus by 2010. And today, they represent 162 of the 218 Republican seats in the House, and all of the leadership. Some of the major policy positions championed by the RSC include pro-life abortion stances, Second Amendment rights, maintaining defense spending, and balancing the federal budget. Next is the Freedom Caucus, which was originally a faction of the Tea Party caucus before splitting off from them in 2015 in an attempt to drive the Republican leadership to the right by opposing the nomination of John Boehner for Speaker of the House, a move which eventually led to Paul Ryan becoming Speaker. Today, this faction has become the home of the hardline Trump supporters, to the point where there's a subgroup in this faction known as the MAGA Squad. Today, the Freedom Caucus represents 31 of the 218 Republican representatives in the House, though 17 of them are also members of the Republican Study Committee. It is also notable that the original Tea Party caucus is also still around, with 19 members in today's House. Both of these groups are generally known for supporting the border wall and for trying to end the Affordable Care Act, and in the case of the Freedom Caucus, generally supporting anything Trump does. Last is the Republican Main Street Partnership, which is the congressional membership organization for Republicans who are fiscally conservative but socially centrist. It was originally formed in 1994 in opposition to Newt Gingrich's Conservative Action Team, before declining in membership over the next 2 decades and ultimately collapsing in 2018. But as of 2021, it has been revived, and in 2023, it gained enough seats to once again become a major faction in the Republican Party. One additional moderate Republican group worth mentioning is the Republican Governance Group, formerly known as the Tuesday Group. It has a lot of overlap with the Republican Main Street Partnership and is a centrist faction of the Republican Party, but it does have some distinct members, and it currently has 41 known members. That's all for this one. Next time, I'll be covering the last 4 political organizations that tend to drive national policy platforms, this time the ones with the money. I'll see you then.